What's going on, everyone? Welcome back. In today's video, we're going to do a full walkthrough of my tournament kayak and trailer setup. We got some rain in the forecast, so I'm going to try to do this as quick as possible, but we're going to start bow to stern, talk about the trailer and everything in between. So right here is the entire setup. This is a Hobie Pro Angler 14 360 Ike Edition. Kind of hard to recognize because I do have a wrap on here. This is a DIY wrap that I did just with some matte black wrap. As you can see, I've had it patched up a few times with some black duct tape. But right there, this was my first time ever doing this, and I tell you what, I'm not good at wrapping. There's a lot of little waves and curves and bubbles in it, so there's a lot of that, but from afar it looks pretty good. So the trailer that's on is on a Snake River Lockers trailer. This is their Power Loader Haul Edition. So this is one that I kind of had custom done. It has these sick black rims, comes with a tower that is actually taller than previous models, and it has brackets to mount a Yakima topwater box. One of the cool things about this trailer is that it has a unique design where the bunks are actually much lower, and this makes it nice for when you're launching in shallow water situations. Some ramps are really shallow, so you don't have to dump the trailer too far back. You also have a pretty long tongue that helps you from getting your vehicle not getting into the water. And one nice thing is that it has a good size swing tongue. So storing this in the garage is no problem. Not sure why a lot of trailers don't have swing tongues. It is something that definitely is really useful for when you're storing. So I keep this in my garage. For the tower, obviously you can put another kayak on top of it, but I haven't had the need to do that. You also have tie downs to secure them. Obviously you can see we got rigging lights. So with a flip of a switch, you can turn on those lights. Obviously, I don't have it plugged in right now, but you have rigging lights so that you can get your kayak all rigged up in the morning when it's zero light. And then back here, you do have a reverse light, big old LED bar to shine the road behind you when you're backing down the ramp to the water. You know, some of these places we launch, you don't have any lights on it, and it's nice to make sure you don't hit anything. That really comes in handy. All right, so for the kayak up front, we're gonna have some LED bow lights. These are stick-on lights, actually, just some 3M double-sided tape that I put. The reason why I do this instead of, let's say, the Yak Power, so I don't have to drill holes. And if this does get damaged from bumping into docks or whatever, I can easily replace it. Literally just pull them off, replace the little wiring pigtails, and then I can have lights again. Moving to the center hatch, we have a Dakota Lithium 46 amp hour 12 volt battery with Connect Ease Anderson plugs. This makes it where I can easily remove this if I need to. When I need to power it on, just plug them in. Keep my tackle obviously in here right now, but usually this will go behind the seat. Additionally, we have my flag and light, Yak Busy Carbon Pro. This usually gets mounted back there towards my motor, but I also keep some extra accessories with me, like Yak Rotor Grip phone holder, and then the little panfish from Yak. So sometimes I'll put my big camera on this. Also in here, just got some extra USBs for GoPros, keep a pair of gloves, some dude wipes, never know when you need those, and usually carry a microfiber cloth to wipe the screens if I need it. So underneath the bin, inside the hole, we have a one objective in-hole mounting plate. Then we have our Lowrance Active Target 2 box and our Yak power switch. So I use this mainly just for all my lighting and everything like that. And obviously I have the Lowrance Active Target 2 running straight to this 46 amp hour battery from Dakota Lithium. Depending on the fishing trip, sometimes I'll swap this out with my 25 amp hour. That 25 amp hour gets 16 hours of runtime with Active Target 2. It's 1.5 amp hour draws, so usually that'll be fine, but sometimes if I'm doing multiple days, I'll run the 46 amp hour. And as you can see, I just got my transducer cord running underneath, and it actually runs out through a through-hole system straight to my transducer and Sniper Marine kayak pole. To make this through-hole work, we do have a rod tube block-off plate from One Objective. So moving into the cockpit, we got two graphs on this thing, both Lowrance Elite FS9s. For the price, these are pretty hard to beat. 9-inch screens, touchscreen, has all the capabilities that I need. And then we also have a Lowrance 0.1 GPS heading antenna, and that sits on a One Objective puck mount and two Yak 90-degree mounts. This front graph is mounted on a Boondocks Groovy console. And then I obviously have my lock and load bases, my rod stager from Boondocks. To mount this graph, I just basically mounted the gimbal to the actual Groovy console, and I just have Yak Attack T-bolts with some lock nuts and nuts. Also on this graph we have a Burley Pro visor, which helps with some sun protection, but most importantly protects the graph. As you can see, there is times where weights start flying at you, and it's nice to protect it with this cover. On this graph right here, we just have it mounted to a little ram mount, 1.5" ball from Hobie. Bolts right to the H rail. Then we have this wiring loom that runs all the way down through the through hole of the Hobie. Over here on the gunnel we do have a Catch Jake plate. This is an aluminum one, which is really nice. It keeps everything all sturdy, and that mounts our Groovy console, our 0.1 antenna, but also our foot control steering as well. And the same thing is replicated on this side. So inside the center hatch we got a lot of junk right now. This is kind of a junk drawer. I got a little bit of everything. Got my Bubba scale, some paracord to tie off to the dock, scents, dyes, leader, hooks, fizz pens. Usually keep a knife, Sharpie, mend it, a little bit of everything under there. But what's underneath is pretty cool. So underneath this bin, I do got some water in here just from pressure washing the kayak recently. But we have another 46 amp hour 12 volt Dakota lithium. That's what I keep in between my scuppers. And then I have, again, another Connect Ease Anderson plugs that runs to my Connect Ease harness. So this is a harness that Connect Ease makes it easy, plug it in. If I need to remove this battery, I just have a cam strap that holds it in place between the scupper posts. But yeah, it stays under there, stays hidden. I don't have to remove it at all. Just throw this bin right on top, close it, and yeah, everything's all tucked away. All right, towards the middle, we do have obviously our vantage seat. I do got a Burley Pro prison pocket. This was actually on the other side, but I do store my sniper pole on that side. I'll show you guys in a second. So this is on this side, and usually keep my pliers here. Little 1800, 3600 box. Hang some lures. I can usually hang my spinner baits and buzz baits right here on the side. Of course, we got our cup holder. Usually keep my drinks on the outside. And then right down here, I keep a little fish grip, just in case I have a fish, want to get photos and videos of. Clip them onto that, leave it hanging on the side, and let them get obviously watered. So on this side we do have our sniper marine kayak pole. I have this on their holster mount right here. This thing's super solid. It does not move whatsoever. And of course my active target 2 transducer. To store my sniper pole on the road is usually how I do it. Flip around this holster mount, and then I have it right there hanging on the inside. Then usually what I'll do is I'll run a cam strap to my H rail, and it literally just sits just like that. As far as my measuring board goes, I do have the Yak Attack leaderboard. Just recently got this, been loving it so far. And I always have my boards tethered with a RoboHawk tether right to the seat. This stays right here. It's not in the way. I can easily slide it out, put it on my lap, take my photos. And right behind it we have my Torpedo throttle mount for my 1103. Of course, magnetic kill switch just in case accidents do happen. And then I just have that on a Yak Attack throttle mount. You'll probably see that throughout the kayak I have a lot of these Yak Attack H-rail dual mounts. One there. Got some over there and a few on the other side. It's just nice to have to obviously mount your lock and load bases. Usually I keep my GoPro right here on the Panfish Pro, and it just kind of sits right behind me. Behind my seat we got 2 Torpedo batteries. Usually I use one. I have one as a backup just in case. Sometimes I'll do like 14-mile runs, 15-mile runs, and it's nice to have it. Usually I'll use one battery for the whole day, and then I'll switch batteries to run back to the boat and launch wide open when I need to, and that's the reason why I have 2. Pretty much I just use the existing Hobie bungees to keep this one secured, but I also do have cam straps on both sides so that it is secured at all times. And then right here a couple more cam straps for this back one that connects it to the black pack. Then on the black pack, 16 by 16, I got 11 rod holders on this thing, 4 on each side, 3 on the back. I was able to get it where the hinges work, just can't use one of the screws, but it's totally fine. And inside, of course, got all my tackle. I honestly don't carry too much tackle. Like, these 2 are honestly empty. I got nothing inside of it. Usually I have these 2 little terminal boxes for my swim bait hooks, my jig heads, 3600 boxes. I usually carry it double deep just because I can really fit a whole lot of things in there. Then I have this other box which has all my tungsten weights, my owner hooks, a little bit of everything in there. But yeah, I really don't carry too much tackle. To secure the black pack, I just use existing Omni hooks with the bungees that comes with the Hobie, and then I use 4 points of contact with cam straps. With those, this thing does not go anywhere. It can literally rock the whole kayak. I will travel hours and hours with this on the back and not even have to think twice about it getting off. This entire setup obviously got a lot of things. You need a strong motor on this, and that's powered by a Torqeedo 1103 AC. This is actually the discontinued model. I am getting the new one that just came out, so more videos on that shortly. But this motor is robust, is rigid, and it's super reliable. With this motor fully set up kayak, I usually get anywhere from 6.1 to 6.4 miles an hour as is. A lot of it comes down to weight distribution. That's one reason why I like to run the 46 amp hour up front, just to get that bow a little bit down and leveled. Usually get a little bit more speed that way. As you can see, I have my foot control steering set up, my lift assist, my reverse lock right here that all runs up front, and then everything's mounted with a one objective mounting plate. And up here I got mounted a little Yak Attack track that I mount my Yak Attack Fizzy Carbon pole. I do have my Hobie paddles on here. I do not use them at all. Honestly, between the Torqeedo 1103 and my 360 drive, I never have a need for this. That's one reason why I love this platform, because with that 360 drive, I can really use it up shallow, no problems at all. And with this, I can trim up the motor just a little bit and really push through some shallow stuff. Oh, also forgot to mention, I do have a Burley Pro bumper bro on the front to help protect the keel of the kayak. A lot of these boat ramps, especially the ones with concrete, will wear down the plastic over time, and this thing, for the money, it's a good investment to have to protect it. And yeah guys, that is my kayak and trailer from the 2024 season. You know, as the season comes to an end, it's time to get ready for a new one. So this kayak is getting broken down, things are getting sold, and it's time to get ready for the next one. So if you guys are interested in what I'm going to do with the next build, and you haven't already, consider subscribing. As always, I appreciate you guys for watching. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.